Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello. I am the Dark Librarian, and I am here to tell tales of terror. And here are my friends, Mr. Bones and Bones Jr., and they're here to help me, my assistants. And we're going to talk about Tower of Shadows, number 4, from 1969, Marvel Comics. Yes, our terror tome is Tower of Shadows, 1969. Oh, yes, this is one of the books that I showed in a batch of my spooky books last week, and it was so good I thought I should focus on one story from this book. It's some really cool stuff. Now, unfortunately, as someone else has pointed out in these these books, I had some really cool stuff. Tower of Shadows started out doing all original material, and then within just an issue or two after this one, it was primarily reprint material. Maybe with one new story and then reprint material did that for a couple of issues, and then all reprint material from some of the monster stories and their horror from the 1950s. Now, but before we do that, I've got a little contest. Now, I don't really like contests. But I've got a little contest. So, if you watched me, you know I've got my book here, Bizarre Brain Anthology, available on Amazon. But my contest is for that book, a signed issue of a copy of that book, plus a couple of zines here. One is the Klingon sketchbook, hand-colored cover, with which features a few comic pages and some Klingon drawings and portraits. And then my other sketchbook, which features about 24 or so of my drawings that I use in my backdrops here. And all you have to do to win it is be the first one. There's my email address. That's Korraq@yahoo.com. That's QORRAQ@yahoo.com. And be the first one to email me your name and address so I know where to send it, plus the first correct answer to this little trivia question, which is, what is the name of the voice actor? This is just one answer. One person, one answer. What is the name of the voice actor who portrayed Superman on the 1940s radio show, and also Superman in the Fleischer animated shorts of the 1940s? And he also did the voice of Superman in the 1960s animated Saturday morning TV series, The New Adventures of Superman. Now, send me your name, address, and the answer to that question, and you can get, and I will send you my little books there. And then here again is my email. Okay, now to Tower of Shadows. One of the problems with these in this time period, with these books, was and not just Tower of Shadow, some of this, that they presented them much like they did. This is a great, I think it's Marie Severin cover, much as they did their superhero titles. I like the blurb here. Some of the others had more flamboyant blurbs, but this has got 3 original stories in it. I'm just going to look at one with the first one, but they have no horror host, and I kind of wish they did. But instead of a regular horror host, they have in this they have the artists themselves being the host, featuring the story. And this is written by Alan Brodsky with art by Don Heck. And it's some really cool stuff. Evil is a bad scene. Oh, one of the things reason I like this, because this is 69. It's so hippie, so hippy dippy. And that splash page is misleading. It is misleading. We'll start off with the hippies. His name happens to be Gary. Ooh, which doesn't sound right for a hippie. Gary and I don't catch her name, and they're in their little hippie pad, and they're waiting for some magician goofball, and they even think he's a goofball, to come over named Brother Alistair. Oh, could be inspired by Aleister Crowley. Even kind of looks like him. He gets there and says, "Oh, greetings," and he speaks very flamboyantly. And he has plans to do this spell. He has his chalk and he's drawing out all this stuff. So this happens to be the perfect place. And the stars are aligned just right. And I get my revenge. I'll conjure up a demon, and all those who have bad-mouthed me will get their just desserts. And what's all this? They just think it's some hippy dippy stuff. Hey, see this one here? Top panel. It's a really nice cityscape, nice perspective, and the detail in the facing on the buildings and stuff. Probably just looked outside the window and to see it. And he brings out his tome and his magical tome, and it has some really description stuff on the floor there. Looks like he did a little bit of research. Some astrological stuff, and they're just sitting there watching. Yeah, cool, man, far out. And then but it works by the demonic. And he's chanted, "By the power of the Tetragrammaton, by Lucifer and by Belial, I do summon thee." And it is the demon Zagon. And why hast thou disturbed me, mortal? Ooh, that demon voice hurts my throat. And he goes, "Release me." But it says you're bound. And you're bound to do my bidding, because you were bound by the pentagram. But the cat, who is kind of frisky, scratches the markings, breaks the pentagram. Igor, and the cat's name is Igor. Igor, stay back. And some cool art and cool storytelling. And this is kind of different for Don Heck, but it works so well. And I like the way he portrayed the hippies. And the demon is free. I am free now, presumptuous mortal. And he grabs the sorcerer, and he fades away. And suddenly he's in hell with the devil. And says, "Oh, there you are." And then he says, "Now for thy foolishness, the fate you most feared." Oh, and things change, and suddenly they're a married couple with kids, and he's commuting back and forth to work, and she's just nagging the crap out of him, and that's their hell. And that was great. I loved that story. And then it's followed by some great Gene Colan. I'm not going to go into the details of the story. Businessman. Oh, great cityscape there. And of course, Gene Colan, he was great for this kind of art, this kind of stuff, better than for superheroes. And the spooky stuff, and of course, his Tomb of Dracula and the like. Oh, and this is some great. He's a friend of his, and he's just run him out of business. And they were still expecting to be friends. And meanwhile, this gypsy, gypsy, I know that's. I guess the Romani consider that kind of a derogatory term, but that's what they call her, the lady here. She sees his death in his future, something about dying in the presence of an Indian. And he was walking around. He sees the next day cigar store Indian, and he's almost killed, and then some lady dressed in an Indian princess type dress, and then some kids. Everything. Oh no! But how he does die is when see it's East Indian from the country of India, and the thing snaps, and he plunges to his death, and then I'm drawing up like Tom Sutton. Yeah, Tom Sutton's story. It is squirrely, tongue-in-cheek, and beautifully drawn. It is kind of cartoonish, and it is actually a sequel to a story from the first issue. And the house is alive, and the evil scientists and stuff going on here. And the house the house basically destroys him. Calls up on the storm and the lightning and stuff. His friends because the house is alive and magical, but it destroys the house. But the house is now at peace and destroys the thing. And it's so good. That is such a good issue. I didn't realize. And is a lot of fun. So, that's all I've got for you. Please like, share, subscribe, and remember the contest. My email address, boop, boop. And the question, once again, what is the name of the voice actor who portrayed Superman on the 1940s radio show, also Superman in the Fleischer animated shorts of the 1940s, and did the voice of Superman in the 1960s animated Saturday morning TV series, The New Adventures of Superman? And that should be easy to look up. So that's all I've got. Thank you for joining me. And remember, even spooky comics are art.